don't be dropping highlights of us, bro, because I'll drop highlights of you too, bro.
Shut up, fuck.
Okay.
Vital signs critical.
Oh. I see how it is. I see how it is. I see how you want to do it. You want to be like that, huh?
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Nothing But Skills, and today we're bringing you guys another Division 2 video. Now today's video is going to be talking about skill builds. If you haven't noticed, you might have saw at the beginning of this video a lot of really skilled builds, just going off, having fun. And one of my favorite PvP builds for skill builds, and I think 100% will be the meta, is going to be the Bombardier drone. And we're going to get into how to build that and how you guys can start one-shotting these players. As you're seeing in this clip right here, this guy right here, about 420k armor, and I'm still able to one-shot him. And this build isn't even perfected. But what I decided to do was bring you guys this build. That way you guys can start looking for the pieces you need, and I'll tell you what pieces I'm looking for to improve this build and make it even that much stronger. And I feel that once people start having their skill builds, we'll start to see a lot of these airstrikes all over the DZ and all over conflict. And it might become an issue, but until then, happy grinding. So let's get into the build. So the first thing you guys gonna notice, I am running 4 offensive, 4 defensive, and 9 utility. That's gonna put me at 228k armor. You're not really worried about armor on this. This build isn't a survival build. This build is a pure skill build where you're staying away from combat. You're probably gonna die, but you're gonna put out a lot of damage and kill a lot of players. Now your health is gonna be around 42,000 health. My skill power is 2,100. Now, depending on what utility mods I use, I would like this to be around 2,500. I feel like 2,500 is the good point you want to be just with skill power. And then if you put a utility mod that gives you like 400 on one of your pieces, you're already at 2,900, and most of your skill mods will be around 2,900. But remember, this build right here is specifically built for PvP. I can build the same build for PvE, but I have to tweak a couple things, and I'll put out a build on that one later on this week. So this one's more focused for PvP. So if you guys want to take this into the dark zone, if you guys are a PvE player and you're like, you know what, I really want to do skill builds in the dark zone, this is something that you're gonna have fun doing. If you run 2 guys running this, it's pure chaos, and we were doing this last night in the dark zone. So let's get into my build, right? So for the weapons, run whatever weapons you want. I'm gonna show you the weapons I picked. I have the Black Market AKM, around 19.7k damage. This has some skill talents on here. I have spiked. Headshot kills grant 35% skill damage for 20 seconds. I have stability on here, and then I also have recharged. While equipped, skills deployed at full armor have 25% duration, charges, and ammo. The way I have this modded, it is modded for PvE right now because I was doing some PvE, but if you're gonna do this for PvP, just put a crit chance right there, and then you're most likely gonna leave the stability on the angle grip. On the muzzle, you can put crit damage. And then on the magazine, we're gonna run 20 rounds, -10 reload speed. So the big difference between PvE and PvP on the weapons is you're not gonna run damage to elites, right? And then for the secondary, I run the Eagle Bearer because I have the Eagle Bearer. This is gonna be at 21.6. Now the great thing about Demolition is if you use the Demolition specialty pistol, you're actually gonna have one really good talent for skill builds in rhythm. While equipped, enemy kills have a 5% chance to refresh active skill cooldowns. This can occur once every 60 seconds. So that is really good for PvP and on your skill builds. But let's get into the build because that's what you guys came here for, right? So I am running a China Light Mask. I run a 3-piece. Now the 3-piece is gonna give me 10% explosive damage, 10% shotgun damage, 30% skill haste. And then look, the attributes, we're running 2 utility. So we have 234 skill power, 24% skill haste, and then destructive, 20% explosive damage. For the chest, I'm running a Providence chest. This gives me 10% skill power. I have 2 blues, a yellow, so I have 15k health. I rolled this 1,000 skill power. Now, if you guys want to get this, 1,000 skill power, you can still get it. Remember, level 21, I believe it's 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, and even 26 have this skill power chest that you can roll onto here. So I was able to roll the full 1,000 onto this chest piece. I have 17k armor. Came with destructive already, so I was kind of lucky there. And then I have a utility mod slot that's going to give me skill power, drone power, turret skill power. I'm not using the turret skill power. I'm running this because look at that 442 drone skill power. That's why I said I would like to make a couple tweaks, and I'll show you where I like to do that and have my skill power around 25, 2600, just running one little utility system mod is gonna max me out at 3K. So I can run almost every mod in the game for my skills. I'm also running a defensive mod slot that's gonna give me 5% total armor, 2K armor, and then 4% explosive resistance. For the holster, we're running a Douglas and Harding holster. I don't really need the accuracy on here because I'm not running this build to put out damage with my weapon, but it comes with skill haste, one utility attribute, and then it comes with the utility mod. So I get 2 utilities, and those utility mods are really good because look right here, I'm able to put one that gives me 4.5% explosive damage, so that's going to increase the amount of damage I do with my skills. And then it has destructive on here. Now I do have one that has skill power, so if you feel like your skill power is a little low right now, this one works with me. This is one place you can switch it out. Instead of that 38% skill haste, you can run skill power here instead of running skill haste. Imagine if I put that 700 skill power roll on here, or whatever it caps me out at, probably like 600, but it probably will roll the full 700. What would it put me at? Almost 2,900. So that's what I tell you. If you feel like your skill power is a little bit low with this build, you can swap that out a little bit and just roll one piece and you'll be maxed out right there. Now for the knee pads, I'm running the second piece of China Light. This is going to give me that 10% shotgun damage that I'm not using, but it helps me get that 30% skill haste by running 3-piece. I run a 22% skill haste right here. It comes with destructive already. This is another place you could swap out. If you feel that you want to run some skill power, you can do that and not run skill haste. You feel like your skills are already coming back a little bit quicker than they need to, then you could actually switch this out for skill power depending on what skills you use. But if you're using a bombardier drone, having some skill haste on your build stacked will help you get that bombardier drone back. Now I do recommend explosive damage on there, so either skill haste, skill power. I think the highest skill power you can get maybe like 400. I have one right here, 354, not 100%, but yeah, you see how this one has skill power. I could roll explosive damage on there, whatever I want. But yeah, you definitely want to keep China Light. I get one offensive mod slot that I can roll some assault rifle damage. I have weapon damage on there, so I get 5.5% assault rifle damage from this. Now, if we get into the gloves is one thing I really would like to switch. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but for PvP purposes, I think Terminate isn't as beneficial as running something like explosive damage. Now, this is the third piece, so you can run whatever. You usually get a red slot on these China Lights, so I wouldn't mind having maybe like AR damage and then having explosive damage. So something like this. Out summits, look, this one gives me 5% skill power if I switched it out, but I would lose the skill haste. So if I feel like I really don't need the skill haste, I swap this out all the time, but I also gain 20% explosive damage. So I'm gonna hit a little bit harder. And then I also increase, look, I get 12% AR damage, and then I get some 2% weapon damage right there, 3% assault rifle damage, and 1% damage to armor. So I get a little bit more damage with my weapon, especially if I'm using the Eagle Bearer or using this AK. So if my skills on cooldown, I can still help my team. Usually this is what you're gonna run this in a team. You won't run this solo. If you want to run out there and just chase down some rogues, drop a bomb if they're chasing you, and have some fun, you can definitely do it, as you guys are seeing in these clips. But yeah, this is something you can switch out. Ideally, I want a China Light with AR damage and then explosive damage, so I get that 20% explosive damage, and you can get that. I have a friend that has that, so one or the other. It's really up to you. I just feel like Terminate, depleting an enemy's armor grants 35% skill damage for 15 seconds and kills refreshes, is so situational with the bombardier drone, because you want that initial explosive damage just to wipe everybody out. Now if we get into the backpack is an Alp Summit backpack. This gives me 20% skill haste, so I recommend on all your builds. If you're not gonna run a 2-piece Alp Summit for the skill power, at least run a 1-piece for that 20% skill haste, because just this and then running a 3-piece China Light's giving me 50% skill haste. This comes with armor, it has skill power roll, and then I was kind of lucky. I got one that already had 20% explosive damage, and then I have skilled on here that's gonna give me skill kills, have 25% chance to reset skill cooldown. So sometimes when I get those kills with the bombardier drone, I get my bombardier drone back right away, and that's because of skill. So that's pretty cool. This does come with a utility mod slot, and you look, I have another drone skill power mod on here. Now ideally, if I was already capped at 2900 skill power, I wouldn't need to run these drone skill power mods on here, but since I didn't roll that and I rolled skill haste, I do have to roll that. But you could put some explosion damage on here to get a little bit more damage on your build. So let's get into the skills, because the skills actually help the bombardier drone come back quicker. So let's take a look at my bombardier drone, and I'm going to show you some screenshots. This guy from the DZ ran into him, T-Rex, I forget his full name, but we're gonna call him T-Rex, and pretty cool dude. But he was trying to extract something, I killed him, and then he ended up inviting me. He had just killed 2 guys with his, and then his drone, like if you see the screenshots I'm about to show you, like the difference between these. So I'll show you those in just a second. So just to show you a quick difference, this one right here has 2 radius mods, so 245%, total of 90% radius, plus an extra 4 bombs. So that's total of 8 bombs. This one right here, no radius, just shows you the extra 4 bombs. So the big difference with having radius and not having radius. Now this one right here just shows you a total of 8 bombs, so you get a longer length. Now, this one is really my favorite setup. This one has 1 radius, 45%, then 1 extra 4 bombs, so you have total of 8 bombs, and then I'm pretty sure he has a damage mod on there. And the final one is just 2 radius mods with no extra bombs. So you still need the extra bombs, I feel like. So big shout out to T-Rex for these shots. Now, I am a little bit low on these damage mods. Ideally, the perfect setup would be to have one of these that's around 190%, right? And then you would want to, instead of a damage, you would want to run extra bombs so you could get a total of 8 or 9. And then you would want to run a blast radius. I think the max is around 50%, so 45, 50% would be what you would want to get. And that's ideally the perfect setup. That's what I'm grinding for. That is where I would like to be right there. So if you look at me, I'm still trying on the hunt. These mods are very hard to get. Crafting them doesn't really help. So you just got to farm for them. But once people start getting this is when I think we're going to start seeing a lot of these airstrikes over and over. And look at the cooldown, 25 seconds. The explosive damage is around 993,000. And I was able to just kill a guy, kill multiple people with just this amount of damage. Like, I feel like once you hit around 950, you can pretty much destroy anything. Now, what I recommend you guys running is this booster hive, because if you don't know, these booster hives, they actually increase your movement speed, your skill haste, and that will let you get your skills back a little bit quicker. And people forget this. So what I run is I run a stim efficiency. I wish I had a better one. I would put that on there. I run the hive skill power because I don't really have anything else I can run here. And then up here, I run skill haste. So I run the highest skill haste I have. So just so you guys can see the difference of this, look at this. So I'm going to use my bombardier drone, right? So let's shoot over there. I'm going to drop my hive. So my bombardier drone says, look how much it cut off. Did you see that the timer cut off? So it was at 6 seconds. It dropped it all the way down to like 18 seconds. It was so quick. I'm going to try to do it again for you guys. So let's get over here and show you one more time. It was really quick how fast it shoots. So it takes off about 8 seconds from what I've noticed. All right, so we're at 25. So let's see when it hits me. So it went from 23 to 15 seconds. So that was about 7 seconds. And that's why this is great, because if you're using this DZ, you can sprint around, start running around. They're chasing you. You get your bombardier drone back. You set up where you want to shoot it. You target people. You let go of it. Once it drops, the bombs go off. Hopefully you kill them. If you don't, you come here and you just see the time get cut right away by running into this. So that's something you guys can do. Definitely recommend you running that setup. And with you having that fast movement speed, it allows you to like get away from enemies, because you're so squishy with this build, you're gonna die. It's a fun build to run, but unless you have 2 face tankers that are gonna be face tanking the enemies, that is what I would recommend. But yeah, this is definitely on my setup right here. This is what I enjoy. I feel like once people get this, once people start getting their bombardier drones mods, they'll be running a lot of these, and we'll see a lot of these in conflict. We'll see a lot of these in dark zone. It's really fun. I had a lot of fun using it. I love running the bombardier drone. Bombardier drone, probably my favorite skill right now for PvP. Skill builds are fun. They can be a little irritating, I know, but hey, at the end of the day, it's in the game, so let's have fun with it. We haven't really had skills till title update 5, so we might as well just use it until, you know, they nerf it or take it away. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions on this build, let me know in the comment section. I appreciate all the support. Thank you guys again. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. If you guys are new to my channel, first time watching a video, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, so when I release a video, you guys get notified. Thank you guys again, but until the next video, nothing but skills out.